Right, you are. This is the second part of the fuel starvation issue. I got picked up another petcock today from Windmill Motorcycles. He's on eBay. Matt, very nice fella. What I didn't mention in the last video was where I drilled this out. I was just going to plug it with JB weld, but because I drilled quite a big hole down there, sort of 5mm hole down there, I've opened these right out as well. I didn't want to sort of wodge a load of chemical metal into there, so what I did was I tapped that hole 6mm, and I got a 6mm Allen bolt, and looking down there I sort of wound it in till I could just about see it showing, marked it, cut it off. It turned out to be 4mm long, so I chemical metaled the outside of that, screwed it in with my fingers gently. You can't really, I mean, you can't pick it up in here, but you can't see it in there. And then I chemical welded over the top, JB welded over the top. It doesn't leak there. But the issue I have now, or I had then, was when it's all together, it weeps from the outlets. So I thought I'd try it, because the new one came with these washers, rubber O-rings that seal it from the outside. So I tried it with the new washers in the old jobby, and it leaks out of there. So I put the new one in with the washers on, and it's still, so obviously the fuel is getting through this side somehow. I've just you can see the difference. I've drilled this one out to 5mm. Focus, and you can see the difference in the hole. It was a tiny little hole. This one, that is a weeny little hole there. Can't really compare it because they've only got two ends, but you can make out this hole is quite a bit thinner than that hole. So I'm going to have to sort out now the issue of the fuel leaking out. It's dripping out, but at the end of the day, if the fuel needle jets on the floats get fouled, then it's going to fill the cylinder, or it's going to piss petrol over the floor, which I don't really want. This is sealed, that's sealed, this is sealed. It's sealed in the tank, it just weeps out of there. So it's coming out from this end of the petcock. Whether that's worn in there, or now that I've opened these holes out, is too close to the far edge. I'm not sure, so I'm going to see what I can do with this one. This one, I can't do it with one hand. Hold on, fingers over the lens. That just unscrews. This one has got a gauze in there. You can see the tiny little hole down there. Look. I might run a drill down there. Also this one, that one they sealed, where I drilled through it, it was sealed with a little piece of brass in the end, which I just drilled through. This one, they've put a ball bearing in the end of it, so that's scuppered that. It's all well and good drilling this out, drilling that out, drilling this, but if you've got a tiny little passageway, fingers, between there and there, it's going to constrict it. So I shall see what I can do. I might sort of grind that back a bit, get the ball bearing out, because it's going to get chemical welded over. Again, I'll drill it, tap it. So I should be able to do that all the way through. Try and do this with one hand. Looking through the camera. Right, hold on. Right. Play the game, man. Get the gauze off. This is really... Sorry. Right. It's got a fair opening down there, outlet, inlet through there and through there. I don't want to take too much meat off of this, because obviously when you do, see again, my one had a brass spigot coming down with a nut on it. I've had to drill and tap into there, into the body, and put an Allen bolt through it. This one has got a much shorter fuel bowl, which screws straight onto the body. So I might be able to lose this completely and see what I end up with. So let's see what happens. Back in a bit. Right, it's the next day for me. I managed to flat the top of that off, and that in turn flatted off the little ball bearing that was wedged in there. Focus, like that. And then I managed to centre punch the very edge of it down so it's swiveled, and then I got a very thin screwdriver, and with no effort at all just prised it out. I went down to what I thought was about halfway on the ball bearing, to its like widest point. So now I can drill, open that opening out. So that will be this channel, the outlet from the fuel bowl, that's that side. So I can have a nice opened out channel there, opened out these two. I took this tiny little tube out from inside that was sitting around it as well. So now I can just drill that out. I'll tap that, do the same as I did last time, get a small piece of 6mm JB weld on it, and that'll be all the channels, that one, this one, all opened out. And then I'll fill up that bottle again to the same mark and time it, and we'll see what happens. So I'll be back. Right, drilled and tapped. So we've opened that out down the middle, we've opened that out, we've opened that out, we've opened that out, and we've opened that out. What I did, I'm doing this through the camera so I can't see what I'm doing. Drop the drill down there to there. This really isn't going to work very well, is it? And then push that up to the drill and measured it 4mm. So I thought I was just going by memory last time, but yeah, it's 4mm. I can cut a bit of threaded bar or something off. Just put a little bit of JB weld around the threads of what I'm going to put in, so there's nothing on the end of it to be forced in. That'll seal it, and then I'll put JB weld over the top, which is what I did with this one. And then when that goes off, we can see what we've got. So I'll be back. Okay, that is easier than it sounds. There it is, 4mm bit of end of a bolt. And just screw it in. You can't see it, but it doesn't interfere with anything down there. So I shall just as best I can, JB weld just on the threads, not on that face, so I'm not pushing any crap into there. I'll give it a good airlining out. What I could do is just start it off a thread and then smear some on. Ideally I should have cut a slot, I could use a screwdriver, but there's no effort. So next job, JB weld. Aha, as if by magic. There's a little, look at that. That's all sealed off. Wait for that to dry. You still can't see down there, I'm showing you. Look! But, so, we shall just wait for that to dry and then put it together, give it a flow test, blah de blah, bosh. I'll be back later. Right, yet another day. It's back on. It is very tight. Where am I looking? Bloody idiot. It does clear just. This one is obviously a little bit shorter. Got the hideous fuel filters in place. That's all set. The back of the JB weld. This was the one that was giving trouble last time. The fuel was sort of right down there and it wouldn't fill up, and now it's full right up. I've run it up, give it a good rev. There was an air bubble right up there and it didn't move, it didn't come down and sort of drain itself. So it seems it's worked at the moment. Touch wood. I'll give it a run. I'm going out the weekend. I'm going on Sunday. I'm going to the British Motorcycle Museum, National Motorcycle Museum up in Birmingham. I'm taking my brother, so we should give this a good try out. I've still got the heating, the ducting from the oil cooler into the side of the sidecar. I've taken I did have the screen on it to go to Wales onto the Dragon Rally to get the wind off me mate, but I've taken that off because it seems to be sort of warming up a bit. Still covered in mud. I shall swap the back wheel over with that one because this one isn't very fuel efficient, because it's still the military snow jobby. Yeah, so hopefully, fingers crossed, that has sorted out. If it hasn't, what I shall do is I shall get some bar stock, a bit of possibly inch diameter brass, and have this male 14mm thread machined onto one end, and the female of a Japanese. I'll get a Japanese high flow fill tap to go in the bottom. Only has to be about an inch long, so I can put the Japanese tap in the bottom, the brass into the tank, and then we'll see what happens. But hopefully this has cured it. I can get my finger between the fuel tap and the starter motor cover. If it does cause any problems, I've seen people just take out a square just to clear the fuel lines and the fuel tap. But hopefully that has cured it. We shall see. Any questions, drop us a line. Thanks very much for watching. Goodbye all.